A direct dive from above locks onto its target in a split second. Even other predators struggle to break free from that pressure. Speed, talons, and precision turn every approach into a decisive moment. At the highest reach of the sky, the eagle stands as the true ruler. Once a target is chosen, few can move fast enough to escape its sight. In the world of birds of prey, the eagle stands as a clear symbol of aerial power. Many species have wingspans reaching close to 8 feet and exceptionally sharp vision. From high mountains and South American rainforests to the grasslands of Africa, they are present across a wide range of environments. Wherever they live, eagles stand out for their high-altitude hunting, long observation, and perfectly timed dives. Across the vast sky, they dominate not through noise, but through precision and composure. Not every predator is tied to just one type of prey. For the white-tailed eagle, that flexibility helps it hold a prominent place across vast rivers, lakes, and coastlines. In a single day, it can shift from fish-filled waters to birds searching for food above, always watching for the smallest opening in another species' rhythm of survival. When an Egyptian goose drifts out of formation, the advantage does not come from rushing, but from altitude, approach angle, and timing. The eagle descends from hundreds of feet with a tight and precise path, forcing the target to react within a very short window. With just one wing beat later than usual, the balance in the air begins to shift. Among smaller flocks, such as bee-eaters, the pressure arrives even faster. One sudden appearance from above can be enough to break the formation and expose the first bird that falls out of rhythm. The target is quickly isolated with a precise grab. Even experienced birds of prey, such as hawks, or powerful birds like cranes, may have to stay cautious when an eagle enters an aerial dispute. Without making much noise, it still creates pressure through its wide wingspan, broad field of vision, and superior ability to hold position. In the wild, the one that holds the advantage the longest is not always the fastest, but the one that adapts its strategy before the sky has time to change. The Rockies are not a place for the weak. They are an arena for the most enduring and adaptable creatures. If the mountain goat is a symbol of resilience on the ground, the golden eagle represents power from the air. Here, every encounter is not just a hunt, but a test of instinct, terrain, and some of the highest survival skills on Earth. With a wingspan of nearly 7 feet, this predator approaches in almost complete silence. When it spots a young goat that has just moved away from the protection of the herd, it can fold its wings and dive at more than 150 miles per hour. The golden eagle's strength does not lie only in the dive, but also in its ability to choose the right moment, the right angle, and the right target. Against an adult goat weighing hundreds of pounds, a direct approach is rarely the most effective choice. Instead, on narrow slopes and in strong winds, some experienced individuals may use repeated close passes to apply pressure, forcing the target toward a disadvantageous position. Once balance is lost, a single slip can allow the cliffside itself to allow the terrain to determine the outcome. In this harsh place, victory does not always belong to the stronger one, but to the one that understands wind, altitude, and gravity better than its opponent. In the green canopy of South America's rainforests, monkeys confidently move through three-dimensional space with compact bodies of only about 25 pounds. They glide through tangled branches, trusting that height is a safe shield against every danger on the ground. However, the forest canopy is not off-limits to the predator known as the harpy eagle. With eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's, the harpy eagle watches quietly from a strategic height. When a target enters its sights, it pulls in its wings and bursts through the narrowest gaps of the great forest at more than 50 miles per hour. With talons about 5 inches long, comparable to those of a grizzly bear, it launches a powerful approach, lifting its prey from a high branch with extraordinary muscular strength. Beyond the rainforest, the eagle's power also appears across the hot, dry grasslands of Africa. Warthogs are known for their resilience and can sprint at around 30 miles per hour to escape many ground-based predators. But when the opponent is the martial eagle, with a wingspan of more than 8 feet, speed is no longer a guaranteed advantage. Just one moment when a young warthog separates from the group can create an opening. That is why the eagle becomes a strategist of survival. On the sunlit savanna, impalas move like dancers across the grasslands. With strong, streamlined bodies, they can accelerate to around 50 miles per hour and leap nearly 10 feet to avoid many dangers on the ground. In the open plains, herds stay in constant motion to reduce risk. Adults maintain a tight formation, but young ones may fall a few steps behind when changing direction or crossing uneven terrain. That brief gap is what an eagle can exploit. From above, the martial eagle does not strike right away. It observes for a long time, waiting for the exact moment when an individual drifts beyond the herd's protection. When that moment arrives, it folds its wings and dives at a steep angle, using height to close the distance with remarkable speed. The impact carries powerful force from above, leaving the young antelope unable to react before it even understands what is happening. The mother impala may turn back to assist, but that response is often slower than the timing of an attack from above. If a young one becomes isolated, even for a brief instant, the advantage shifts to the predator. On the African plains, survival does not belong only to the fastest runner, but to the one patient enough to wait for a single opening. Venomous snakes are among the most dangerous opponents in the wild. From cobras and pit vipers to the puff adder, they carry potent venom and extremely fast reflexes, enough to defend themselves in an instant. Across dry grasslands, the brown snake eagle is considered a true specialist in hunting snakes. To reduce risk during close approaches, it has legs covered in tough scales and dense feathers, forming a natural layer of protection against sudden reactions. Its strategy is not based on long chases, but on carefully adjusting each inch of distance, followed by a rapid talon closure to bring the target under control. Off the coast of Malaysia, the hunt unfolds in a different way. Sea snakes often reveal themselves only when surfacing or resting on rocks. That brief moment becomes the opportunity for a sea eagle to gain the advantage from above. In nature, true strength is not always about rushing into danger. Sometimes it is the ability to be in the right place, wait for the right moment, and never allow danger to make contact. Across open grasslands, the rabbit is a symbol of alertness, able to sprint at around 45 miles per hour. Its sharp turns and repeated leaps make it a challenging target for many predators on the ground. But under the golden eagle's vision, agility is only one part of the survival equation. From a favorable height, the eagle watches silently. With sharp eyesight that can detect small movements from a great distance, it does not dive the moment it spots its target. Instead, it waits for the rabbit to leave cover, cross an open gap, or lose a fraction of rhythm while changing direction. In this hunt, talons with a gripping force of around 400 pounds per square inch become the tool that carries out nature's command. Not every dive succeeds, but the combination of gravity and absolute precision has turned the eagle into a true ruler of the sky. By targeting individuals that expose a weakness, the eagle helps regulate rabbit populations and maintain balance in the rhythm of life across the grassland. The ocean surface erupts tilts as the orca locks onto its target. A single misstep is enough to shift the outcome in an instant. This is where survival is tested under sheer speed and power. The massive hunter surges forward, closing every path of escape within seconds. Once the pursuit truly begins, almost nothing can break away from this predator. In polar regions, seals, relatives of sea lions, follow a very different rhythm of life. Weighing around 600 pounds, they spend hours diving beneath frigid waters before returning to drifting ice floes to rest and conserve heat. Yet in the vast ocean, this place of safety can also leave them completely isolated. In Antarctica, once a target is identified, orcas deploy a technique known as wave washing, a remarkable display of collective intelligence. They do not act alone. The pod forms a horizontal line beneath the surface, moving in near-perfect synchronization. When a subtle signal passes through the group, they accelerate together, generating a surge of water with force measured in thousands of pounds, directed straight at the ice. The goal of these waves is not direct impact, but to remove the prey's only stable platform. If the ice does not break, the orcas repeat the process with stronger, more precise waves. Each movement is calculated, steadily pushing the target toward its limit. As the ice tilts and the seal slips back into the water, the formation tightens, leaving little room for escape. For the orca, these waves are not just a hunting strategy, but a skill refined and passed down through generations. On average, an adult orca requires more than 200 pounds of food each day to sustain itself. For a pod of over a dozen individuals, energy demand is a constant presence throughout every journey. This time, the target is dolphins, some of the ocean's most skilled athletes, capable of reaching speeds of around 22 miles per hour and navigating the shifting maze of waves with exceptional agility. Though smaller, dolphins are far from easy to overcome. The encounter truly begins when massive shadows, weighing up to 12,000 pounds, emerge beneath them. Under the guidance of a leading female, the orcas form moving walls, gradually reducing the space available to their target. They do not pursue blindly, but divide their approach, applying pressure from multiple directions and disrupting the dolphin's formation. A single individual falling out of rhythm is enough. A powerful strike, carrying force measured in thousands of pounds, follows, removing balance and control in an instant. This coordination is more than a hunt. It reflects the essential transfer of energy within the ocean's cycle. As the surface returns to calm, the pod continues its long journey, each member playing a vital role in the endless rhythm of survival. The orca is the largest member of the dolphin family, reaching about 30 feet in length and carrying the presence of a ruler of the seas. They move in tightly bonded groups, where no individual acts alone, but instead becomes part of a precise and unified strategy. Through vocal communication, strong memory, and coordinated teamwork, the orca rises to the top of the hunting hierarchy. Across cold and temperate oceans, it stands as one of the clearest expressions of the power of collective strength. The great white shark has long stood as a symbol of solitary power beneath the ocean. A large individual can weigh around 4,000 pounds, with a bite force exceeding 4,000 pounds per square inch and an exceptional ability to detect bioelectric signals. Its presence alone can shift the tension of an entire stretch of water. Yet in regions such as New Zealand, even this hunter can become a target when a pod of orcas enters the scene. Orcas do not rush in impulsively. They approach like a trained formation, using pressure, angles of movement, and precise coordination to push the shark out of its position of control. The most experienced individual delivers a well-timed impact, forcing the shark off its natural axis of balance. Within moments, the shark enters a state known as tonic immobility, a temporary condition that limits its ability to respond. The orca's objective is not only the outcome, but also the most energy-rich portion of the prey, which can account for up to 25% of its body weight. In the open ocean, collective intelligence remains the defining advantage that allows orcas to maintain their position at the top of the marine hierarchy. Sea lions are fast, agile, and constantly alert near the shoreline. Weighing up to around 800 pounds, with powerful front flippers, they are enough to make many rivals hesitate. Yet for the orca, they remain a valuable source of energy, especially when large groups gather near the surface. Beneath the water, as sea lions focus on feeding, a single break in formation is enough for the orca to recognize an opportunity. They do not rush in immediately. Instead, they position themselves deliberately, guiding the prey along a calculated path. At speeds of around 30 miles per hour, the distance closes rapidly. Escape routes begin to narrow. When pressure is applied at the right moment, the advantage quickly shifts to the hunting group. In Patagonia, Where waves and shallow shores shift with each tide, orcas take the hunt to a more daring level. They use the rhythm of the surf to surge toward the water's edge. The target is secured within a very brief moment. Moments later, the orca uses the force of its tail to return to deeper water. This is not just strength. It is timing and precision, where even the smallest miscalculation can change the entire outcome. The humpback whale is often called the singing giant of the ocean. Weighing around 80,000 pounds, with pectoral fins reaching up to 16 feet, it stands as a symbol of immense strength combined with remarkable agility across open waters. Yet, against a disciplined pod of orcas, this great size becomes part of a contest defined by endurance and patience. To challenge such a giant, orcas rarely rely on raw force. They turn the encounter into a test of coordination. The hunting group follows in silence, focusing on the calf traveling alongside its mother. Rather than confronting the powerful fins or tail directly, they repeatedly limit the calf's access to the surface, forcing it to expend energy to maintain its breathing rhythm. The difference lies in observation and the ability to identify vulnerability. From there, the orca employs a refined form of behavioral manipulation. One individual may glide beneath the calf, imitating the familiar support of the mother to draw it away from protection. In a brief moment of confusion, that bond is disrupted. Once the calf is separated, the formation closes in, and the advantage of size no longer holds. Gray whales are among the most enduring travelers of the ocean. Each migration season, mothers guide their calves across journeys spanning thousands of miles, leaving coastal breeding grounds for colder, food-rich waters. With adults weighing around 90,000 pounds, they appear like living walls against the open sea. Yet along this route, what draws the attention of predators is not the full-grown whale, but the calf that must stay close to its mother with every stroke and every breath at the surface. Along the coasts of the Pacific Northwest, groups of orcas closely observe these mother-calf pairs as they pass through deep waters or vulnerable transition zones. Each individual takes turns applying pressure, forcing the pair to constantly turn and adjust direction. As the pursuit continues, differences in endurance begin to show. The calf is gradually pushed farther from shallow refuge, and at that point, the advantage shifts more clearly to the coordinated hunters. Not every gray whale calf makes it through such encounters in the early stages of life. It is a harsh reality, yet also part of the natural cycle. For the orca, some confrontations are not decided by the first surge, but by which side can maintain pressure through the final moments. The eagle brings each encounter to a close with a swift, controlled, and powerful finish. It leaves behind a stretch of sky where order has just been reaffirmed. In the wild, few species can hold that level for so long. If you want to follow even more intense hunts, like and subscribe to the channel. With every spread of its wings, another gripping chapter begins to unfold.